they talk about the police and how if you was in the community, you would understand the community. And I
Right.
think it goes back to what you're saying. Like people complain about the community so much, even when they're in the community, not realizing the people around you just need help. Like
Yeah.
just help them, and you might get the reward of you just helping them, and you might see some difference in the community. And I think for me, that's a huge thing that coming back to our community that I hate so much that we do is when we make it, we leave.
Yeah.
And I understand aspects of it, but for me, it's a huge negative because you're taking away your ability to give people resources out of the community. So everyone left in that community is still going to struggle. So now you're not giving people opportunity. You've created more struggle, even though you've got an opportunity.
It's crazy you say that because that's one of the biggest problems that not problems, but it's something that I deal with personally because I live here in Portland. You mentioned earlier, I'm from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to, I'm far from where I want to be, but like I've been able to do things in the community out here and like make way for myself in this community out here, which I'm 1,000% grateful for. But always in the back of my mind, it's like, man, but my nephews is back home. My sister, my family, my friends, the people I grew up with is back home. And like, what ways can I like be able to help them or give back to them? And it's like, I don't feel like I'm all the way there yet, but it's like, ultimately, that's what I want to be able to do is to be able to give back to the people that's closest to me. But at the same time, it's like none of my people that I'm closest with back home are doing what it is that I'm doing out here. So you also got the other side of the game of like, what are the chances that I'll get caught up in what they're doing back home? And instead of me coming out here, starting to make way for myself, start to figure some things out and be able to put myself in a position to where when I do come back home, like I can show the way rather than me get caught up in whatever nonsense sometimes can be happening back home.
That's
so
real.
that's definitely been a challenge
real.
for me, bro, is trying to like figure out like when and how am I going to be able to really, really give back and make a difference to my hometown, which I will always love because it made me who I am in so many ways. But it's a hard thing to figure out because I also felt like I needed to leave there because I saw the path that I was going down while I was out there and I needed to kind of get out of it. So it's a tough one.
I got a tattoo on my arm that it's a Western African ideology, and it's a mantra. It's the Sankufa bird. It says "Go forth and give back," and that's the mentality that I always carry myself with.
Yeah.
Because you have to go forward in order to actually be able to have something to give back.
Right.
And I think what you're saying is a perfect example of that. Like you had to step away to realize what you can see that I need to give back.
For sure.
And so, like you said, it's just about timing, man. And it's about being able to have something that you can wholeheartedly be like, look, I need to give this.
Right.
And this is how I can do that. And that's always been my thing. But for me, it's frustrating watching people who be successful and move off and never come back and watch their city struggle, watch their street struggle, and talk about how much I'm from this, I'm from that,
Right.
but you're not helping this or that change.
Yeah, no, for real. One of the best moments I had a couple weeks ago, I went back, one of my good friends, his name is Jason Verrett. He and I went to high school together. He's an NFL veteran. His family has like a foundation, nonprofit, and every summer they put on this basketball tournament, and it's like a $15,000 cash prize for the winning team. And so like the whole Bay Area comes out to this event. And so this year was the third year. And so he'll bring me back there and I'll like MC the tournament for him. Cause obviously he knows what I'm doing professionally out here. And so I did it the first year. Then the second year I didn't do it. And then this year, like I said, a few weeks back, I went back home and I emceed the tournament for him, and it was lit for sure.
It seemed like it was popping in
But
there.
one of the best feelings that I had was like, it's pretty much like I had a friend that turned family. His dad and my dad are real close. Like his dad is like an uncle to me, but me and him grew up playing with each other since Mighty Mites and Pop Warner all the way through high school. And his little brother is, you know, a middle schooler right now, but like a really good young athlete as a middle schooler. And so, you know, his pops, you know, just not being funny, but also like this is just the kind of dude he is. Yeah. He calls me, my name's Devon, he calls me Debo. And the young fella that I look at is really like my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? His name is Royce. You know, his pop's bragging about him and right in front of him, like, yeah, Debo, Royce going to be better than all y'all was as athletes. Like, he on his way. Like, he nice. Football, baseball, like, he getting to it. And it's like, that's dope to hear because that's the world that we come from.
Yeah.
And so I'm emceeing the tournament. Championship game is lit, going crazy. And after the tournament is over, Unc, who was telling me about how dope Royce was going to be as an athlete, he calls me and he's like, man, D-Boy, Roy, we got home. And Royce said that he really, really liked and enjoyed your commentary. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was so big to hear that because it's like what we are instilling is like Royce is going to be the next big thing out of the area as an athlete. But it's like what Royce don't understand is he's an injury away from never being able to be that athlete, but he can still, I'm 30 years old now and I can still say that I've never been away from the game because now I'm just doing it. I'm around the game in a different way. You know what I mean? But this is I'm in a space where like it's a majority white space when it comes to, you know, sports broadcasting and sports media, especially white male in particular. And it's like, I'm glad that I was able to inspire Royce in a different way from just being able to brag about what I used to be as an athlete. And maybe I inspire young Royce to one day be like, man, if anything ever happens and, you know, the game don't work out for whatever reason, which could be really devastating and traumatizing to a lot of young black youth, like I know that I could pursue this route of being a commentator. I still get to be around and have access to the game in a meaningful way and be around what I love. I'm just doing it in a way that may not look like me being the star that's on the field or that's on the court, but I could still be highly involved in what it is that I love instead of having these expectations put on me and placed on me that, for just to be real, likely I'll never be able to reach. Like being able to go pro or whatever the case may be is like as hard as hitting the lotto. So for me, it felt good for me to know, like, while Pop's bragging on how dope of a young athlete that you are in the 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever grade you in, to know that I was able to inspire Royce with my commentary. Like maybe one day when he gets a little older and, you know, the game goes however the game goes, he'll be inspired to fall back into, well, maybe I can go be a journalist or a broadcaster, even though that's not what a lot of people that look like me do, but I could be the one to do it. And so that was big for me.
That's dope. That's super dope.
All right. I like that. I really do.
It was fire, man. It was fire.
That's to inspire the youth. That's very important.
I see some of you need your nails done. Well, guess what? I have a place. Stop by a place called Capital Nails off Barber Boulevard, 10075 Southwest Barber Boulevard, number 6A. That will not only help you get your nails done, but help you look right for the weekend. If you stop by, make sure you say, I'm ready to play no games. Give you that sponsor shout out, a little promotion, a little discount. It's a family-owned business and operated for 2 generations of women over 20 years. It's a great for any occasion, down-to-earth staff, and a top-tier customer service and brag-worthy skills. Come catch a vibe and be swept off your feet because, dang it, they get your feet looking good. Make sure you check out Capital Nails. Descriptions in the bio, locations in the bio. Check them out.
Well, you know, I'm so glad that you said that because I feel like, you know, you're a podcaster, so you kind of know.
Yeah.
You get the beginning, middle, end vibe. I like that. So
For
to
sure.
start a news story, I'm gonna have to just say this out right.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. Shit, I think they call them groupies now.